Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital and welcome to this new update here on Solana. We're going to do a full Monday morning update right here. We'll talk about what happened over the course of the weekend. I spoke about Solana, of course, as well on Saturday. So the hours after the crash, we'll talk about that. I mean, the price action after that has been quite constructive for Solana specifically. I also wanted to talk about one Solana ecosystem project that I thought was quite interesting that I think you need to know about, but we'll do that at the end of the video because obviously most of you are just interested in what's most likely right here for Solana. Okay, so let's get back to Saturday. Saturday, what I said for Solana, let's zoom in a little bit more, is that the key level to reclaim was this level right here at 185 and 182. That was the yearly rolling VWAP, but outside of that, it's also not the strongest, but it's a relevant intraday key level as well. And we were able to reclaim that on Sunday. Now, I have to say, we were able to reclaim that after we got some easing remarks by Trump and Vance. All right, and when we talk about that, immediately I want to say that the further development of the price of Solana is very dependent on the fundamental situation, right? It's very dependent on what's going to happen with this new trade war, or with the ongoing trade war, and what next measures are going to happen. I mean, if we get some bad news again, Solana will easily fill that imbalance and fill that void and drop back down into 185 and 182.5. Now, I have to say, you know, when we're talking about the different possibilities for Solana, I do think the price action we've seen over the course of Saturday and Sunday is constructive enough, and I've done research on the fundamentals, I've done research on the different possibilities. I would argue that it is unlikely that Solana, like I said, for those reasons I've given you earlier, I would say it's unlikely we will drop down lower than what we did on Sunday, right? So on Sunday, we dropped down into 173. Can we revisit that general area? Yes, but I think it's unlikely we'll drop down lower. So if we get bad news here, I'd argue we would just fill the imbalance right here, but that we will hold support and that we will remain relatively stable. The only way we can still crash down much lower is if we get very bad news, which I don't anticipate happening. I think that's in nobody's best interest. So this is the worst case scenario, but honestly, as it looks right now, or at least how the market is pricing in the current situation, you can see the S&P 500 has also recovered back to the same price as the 1st of October. 1st of October, Solana was still trading a little bit higher towards 210. So far, the technical price action has been good with a reclaim of 185. We had a major resistance level, a high liquidity zone at $200 right here. So I wouldn't expect a lot of bullish momentum, but I do think it's most likely under the current fundamental circumstances, including the technicals as well, that will fill some of that imbalance here to the downside, but that we will see some more recovery into that level at 210, 215, and that we'll be able to get stability mainly between 195 and 215. That seems to be the main area where we can, you know, that's also a very high liquidity zone historically, right? So price tends to gravitate towards liquidity. So that seems to be most likely right here. I think the fundamentals are good enough for that, or at least the current fundamentals. Like I said, how they change, I'll keep you updated on that, but that matters a lot as well. And I would say the technical price action we've seen so far confirms that as well. Now, the one project that I briefly wanted to talk about is Drift. Drift is a Solana project, of course, and I think it has a lot of potential. It's at the bottom of the range right here, but outside of that, one of the key reasons why I think this has potential, and this is not paid promotion or anything, but the market cap at this point of time is $225 million. And then if you take a look at the TVL they have a TVL of $1.3 billion and a revenue of $40 million. I would say this is undervalued, but those are my thoughts. That's what I think you need to know for now. So hopefully it helps, but stay safe, take care, and I'll see you on my next videos. Bye.